I haven't seen you since the plague.
Yahoo! Maybe. And that's all, folks.
Perhaps.
That's something we could talk about. Dan Harmon, to his credit, when he's creating television, I think understands a fundamental something that a lot of contemporary sitcom people don't.
Okay.
And there's many reasons for this, is that Dan Harmon understands, and this sounds so bizarre and so stupid and so simple, but he understands that sitcoms are driven by conflict. And you need to maintain certain characters as generators of conflict, right?
Sure.
And a lot of in the increased serialization of television, often shows run out of conflict because they are advancing the characters too much, and then you're stuck. The primary example for me is Parks and Recreation, where after 4 seasons of that show, no conflict
actually matters.
No conflict ever happens ever again. Seasons 5 and 6 of Parks and Rec, I'm like, no one ever questions Leslie Knope. They are not willing to interrogate Leslie Knope in any way, right? So the character who is supposed to be there to generate conflict, Ron Swanson, is now too buddy with Leslie. There's no there's a fundamental array to a sitcom that needs to
that falls apart in that show. 100%.
Remain constant, and it's
in the last season they do that time jump too, and you're like,
so that they can generate conflict again. So they do a time jump so that they can add conflict.
Yeah.
So that they can have Ron and Leslie be on opposite sides again, because it's a TV show and it needs stakes and it needs drama, and I have no problem with making a show where I like all the characters, but there's something that goes wrong on that show, and it happened to a certain extent. I think it is a Michael Schur problem. That I think The Good Place to a certain extent ran into as well, but you always had conflict of the stakes of human souls on that show.
Yeah. And then the conflict at the end of that show is that there is no conflict, which is an interesting.
Yes, which
thing.
is
the conflict at the end of that show is that oh no, when it's perfect it kind of sucks, which is I loved that. It's very interesting.
Absolutely. And to The Good Place's benefit, I suppose, it only ran for 4 13-episode seasons, and at a certain, I feel like it's the 3rd season where it's they are resetting the time frame every other episode. There's a point that show reached where it's well, you could never run out of that kind of conflict on this show, but Parks and Rec did not have that benefit. In fact, it did have to break. It did have to jump temporally to generate conflict.
Continuity to create something.
Yeah.
You're all right.
And I miss, to a certain extent, a show like Taxi or the Mary Tyler Moore Show or something, where you have a mean boss who is there to generate conflict. And the mean boss never becomes part of the gang. They're still a beloved character. They're played by Danny DeVito or Ed Asner, respectively. And they're there to generate conflict. They're there to make sure, on this situation comedy, that there are situations. The situation creator has logged on. And I don't know. That's just something that I find happens in... Comedies have gotten a little too serialized for their own good. Because eventually... if you're doing actual character progression, they're going to progress to a point where the show can't exist anymore.
Yeah, eventually they will. Yeah. Which is interesting, because our last conversation was talking about how Mythic Quest, because of its short seasons, loses out on the opportunity to do a lot of things around building character and conflict and movements.
This is true.
Arts. And The Good Place, while similarly short, I guess because it's got like 3 episodes on them, there's a little bit of an advantage.
Yeah, it
but
has
still,
like 4 more episodes per season. It has a more tight central cast.
also it knows what it's doing, right? It knows what it's doing from the beginning.
For sure.
And I feel like Mythic Quest, to some degree, not saying that they didn't plan, but to some degree, it's got a little bit of the mood of flying by the seat of your pants, which does it a lot of favors. But I think in the long run, when drawing it out, you're like, oh, okay, so like this is cool, but also you missed this opportunity, and this opportunity, which may not have been missed if this had been one of those rare shows that people have the ending in mind when they start, or the even rarer shows that have the whole thing written before they start. I will, to my deathbed, talk about how good Dark is, because like that show's incredible, but they wrote all 3 seasons and then started filming. So there's absolutely no wasted space because they know exactly where everything's going. And I understand, and I'm sure you do too, that most TV shows can't do that
for any number of reasons, right?
For any number, literally. So it's not a thing that I'm like really trying to hold against them, but it is something that like I think I notice more often because I have experienced the opposite.
Yes, indeed. And I think a healthy middle ground is fine. And there's a difference, I think, between advancing characters and exploring them. Because if you explore a character, that only allows you more avenues for storytelling and more avenues for comedy, right? Like learning new things. I mean, that was what was brilliant about the seasons like 2 through 4 of Parks and Rec, where like felt like we were always learning something new about these people, and learning something new adds on the ability to tell stories and tell jokes and like think about all we learned about like Ben and Ron and all these other characters, right? But you just gotta find the healthy middle ground, and to a certain point, serialization is just gonna burn out your show.
Kind of has to.
Right. It's
I'm trying to think of something that's lasted. Well, I think Always Sunny might be the outlier, but they're probably the exception that proves the rule, right?
I mean, they don't progress. It's Always Sunny, for all of its like boundary pushing, is pretty traditional in its sitcom lack of progression of character. Like these characters will remain essentially static until the show is off the air.
Right. Yeah. The only character that has any development is Mac.
Yes. And even then, it's just like he came out of
the
closet.
And even then, it's cyclical.
Right.
It's cyclical. Yeah. It's like he goes into one thing and then comes back, and then goes into another thing in the opposite direction, and then comes back, and then he's just a pendulum of a character. Which is interesting.
Comes out of the closet, but that's exploration as well, because now there's new avenues for storytelling with Mac, right? That's not the end point of Mac. That's a new step of Ronald McDonald.
Yes. It's interesting that that's a thing in that show, because I do think that these 2 episodes we start to see the introduction of a similar dynamic of penduluming characters, because they're going to start playing with Brad, and they're starting to play with great Ashley Birch, Rachel. I don't know why that jumped out of my head.
Hey, it's a name.
But they're starting to play with penduluming those characters and giving them something on the side that makes them like act out in a way, kind of testing the waters, and then watching them kind of come back.
Right.
It's fun to do that. Nobody can see this because this is a visual or an audio medium. But I like
your pendulum. I'm
enjoying rocking my head back and forth for some reason.
Yeah.
Now I understand Indian people more.
Now I understand Willow Smith, who whips her
sure.
hair back and forth. Yes, but the original thing about like Dan Harmon was like, to their credit, as much as like Rick and Morty goes down weird serialized avenues, the status quo remains largely the same, where the show can continue to, and honestly where that show sometimes falls apart is when it gets like too far down that direction of like, you've pushed the boundary too, like how could this show continue to exist at this point? But like the best Rick and Morty shit is like, here's a weird standalone episode. Hey, we came up with this weird premise. Rick has a secret toilet and someone else is using it. And the worst episodes of Rick and Morty are like, and now some lore dumps about the Council of Ricks, and I'm like, okay, well, all right, fine.
Oh, stuff I didn't really care about. Okay.
Yeah, and that's part of the issue is I can't retain it. So every time we come back to that storyline, I'm like, it's been like 2 years since I saw any of it. Can someone summarize this for me?
Yeah. Is there a primer for this episode, maybe?
Can someone please...
Primer. Everybody should watch the movie Primer. Sorry, go
on. Shane Carruth's Primer. Sure.
Movie rules.
Yeah, for sure. Essentially, that one, Shane Carruth did essentially everything on that movie. It's absolutely bizarre.
You've done other things since Primer?
Upstream Color, and that's the only other thing that I am aware of. My understanding is that he might suck. But I don't have any specific information about that. I have nothing more to say about Upstream Colors, Shane Carruth. But we digress.
3 episodes of the Girlfriend Experience. Isn't that show that had an ex-porn star or 3 on it?
It sounds like what the Girlfriend Experience would be about.
Oh, it's a TV series based on Soderbergh's Girlfriend Experience. Which I think maybe Soderbergh's was the one that had...
Soderbergh? Hold on.
Yeah, I'm trying to look up.
Thank you.
Girlfriend Experience, 2009. Steven Soderbergh. But also starred Sasha Grey, who was an adult performer.
Sasha Grey had that weird moment where she was in a lot of non-pornographic material.
Yeah, well, she stopped doing pornographic material and started this. And it was like... Oh, okay. I mean, cool. Like, move up and move forward.
I mean, yeah, I'm not disparaging her. It's just like this weird moment where she is suddenly in, like, Saints Row 3 playing dual roles. Like, it's this weird moment where she's credited in James Gunn's PG porn, which is a weird credit because anyway, but it's all of the... Do you know what PG porn is? From the director of... Okay. PG porn is a James Gunn joint. Pre-Guardians, obviously.
Yes.
Where they take... they take porn footage, footage of pornographic films, and using, some sort of digital or rotoscoping technology, sub out dirty bits for... So in a Christmas-themed one, a girl would be sucking on a candy cane, but you know what it actually is.
Yeah, sure.
It's like a cartoon candy cane. You get what this is. From the director of Guardians of the Galaxy. You understand what this is.
Yeah, okay. Interesting. Fun fact, the tagline for the Girlfriend Experience was, see it with someone you fuck, which is weird.
That's nice. I like that. No, that's cool. I think that's cool. See it with someone you fuck.
Yeah. Like, all right.
Well, hell yeah.
For what it's worth, the TV show has a significantly higher rating than the movie. The movie was on IMDb.
Okay. Let's not.
Hold on. I'll look at the Metacritic. That's the thing that I love.
There you go. That's a little bit better.
66 for the movie.
Okay.
And well, this is anticlimactic. It's just it's a completely different... Is this show still happening? Is that why IMDb has...
It started in 2016.
There's a dash next to it. Like, it's not...
You're right. I guess it's not been officially canceled.
No, it's 2021. Like, it was running episodes until June of last year.
Yeah, but it's one of these shows that does not have, like, a core cast, because the most appeared person is Riley Keough with 13 episodes.
Yeah, out of 37. Yeah.
And like, she couldn't do any of those while she was riding shiny and chrome down the Fury Road. She was not on the Girlfriend Experience when she was shooting that movie for 9 months.
Sure. She also gets shot right in the face in Amazon made a British TV show into a TV show.
British.
It's about a comic book that tells the future. What the fuck was that called?
Heroes?
No, it's not a literal comic book that like has signs, like an occult comic book that people find, and it actually like predicts plagues and like the end of the world.
Huh. I'm
Yeah,
unfamiliar.
the British show is so much better. But the
Oh, I'm shocked.
what the fuck? I'm looking at the picture right here. Oh, is that not the same thing? That might be American Honey. It's got the same actress. Oops, just kidding.
Whoops.
American Honey also has Sasha Lane.
Sasha
And
Grey.
Sasha Lane is in the show on. It's called Utopia. Just kidding. Never mind. The thing I was talking about with the comic was Utopia. But when you go to, but when you went to Riley Keough's page, it had a trailer playing of her in a movie with a character from Utopia, and it looked like Utopia.
Oh, okay. All right.
That was
Gotcha.
what my brain did. Sorry, everybody who had to go through that fucking mini stroke.
You know what? We're learning a lot
genius.
today. I'm genius.
I try to inject as many hot fuzz affectations as I can. Like when fucking dude is like, I'm a slasher of prices.
Of prices.
That's just
Brain freeze, brain wave.
It's just so good to me.
Yeah.
What was that name? What's that guy's name? He played James Bond.
Timothy Dalton.
Tim Dalton.
He's only
Right.
in like 2 James Bond movies, but when I think of the character James Bond, his is the face that I see.
Really?
He,
That's extremely
to
funny.
me, he epitomizes what James Bond culturally is to me. Like, he's the smoothest, handsome, like, it's just, he is everything that James Bond is to me. Maybe it's because I haven't seen him in a lot of other things, so,
He doesn't
like...
do a lot of other things, it
Right.
seems.
So, like, I guess I do know him best as Simon Skinner, Sissy Skinner from Hot Fuzz, but I don't know. I just think of him as James Bond. Maybe it's because, like, I've seen Daniel Craig in other shit. I've seen Pierce Brosnan in other shit. I've obviously seen Sean Connery in other shit. I also don't really watch James Bond movies, so I don't know. He just sticks out to. I can't explain it. Cannot articulate why he is James Bond to me, but he is.
But he is.
I don't think I've seen one of his James Bond movies.
You haven't even seen the Tim Dalton Bond movies, but
I don't
that's
think
where
so.
that's
But he's it, baby.
Very
That's it. That's everything.
That's very funny.
I've seen scattered ones. I've seen
What?
half the Daniel Craigs. I've seen probably most of the Brosnans, which are universally terrible.
They're so garbage, dude.
They're really bad. Maybe like a Roger Moore or 2. I don't like him. I don't like James Bond. I want him to go away.
Yeah, he's a piece of shit.
I want him
He
to
won't
stay
go away.
gone. I think
Yeah.
who should be the next James Bond? No one. Nobody. No one should be the
Dev
next
Patel,
James
please.
Sure. But also, let's just give Dev Patel like another movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We
Let's
gotta
make
keep
an
this guy
extraction
around.
for him.
Yeah. Sure. Why Extraction? Of all the
I was just specifically thinking of a one-off action flick.
I see.
I know it's not a great example.
I was
and
like-
I'm just hoping the next one doesn't have a yellow filter, but you know what I meant.
It's gonna.
Did you?
You know
Didn't
it
you?
will.
You knew what I meant.
I don't. I can never remember which one is Extraction. Every time you mention
Extraction is the Chris Hemsworth one,
Sure, man.
where he plays a guy named Tyler Rake, and there's a sequel coming, and I am disproportionately excited for that.
Chris, yeah,
Because-
that mystifying to me. Chris Hemsworth
I
and
did.
no one else you've ever seen in a movie. Most of the other actors in Extraction.
Not true.
No, most of the other actors in Extraction do not even have an actor photo on IMDb.
Oh, you besmirch the name of the person. I forgot whose name it is.
Oh yeah, great. Yeah. Oh, you really obviously care about this person deeply. Obviously.
Oh shit. Am I thinking of it? I've been doing this a lot, haven't I?
You're thinking of a different guy. I don't know what guy you're
so-
thinking of, but it's a
The
different
woman.
guy.
It's his contact.
Uh-huh.
She was not high in the casting. What the fuck?
Uh-huh. That's what I'm
She's
saying.
definitely in her stuff, though. Oh, she Golshifta Farahani. She's in Invasion, which is why her
what's that?
name came up immediately in my brain because Invasion was really good.
Okay, whatever that is. Invasion.
There was the Apple TV show I talked about an alien invasion, but it's like from 4 or 5 different perspectives all around the globe.
I believe
I talked about. It's like a couple that are going through an infidelity situation. A soldier who gets ambushed out in the desert.
Oh no!
A kid that was on a field trip. A Japanese NASA JASA employee, and then somebody else. I told you about this. Sam Neill's in it. He got stunt cast because he dies in the first episode.
Listen, you talk about a lot of garbage shows I'm not gonna watch.
Ooh.
I'm just kidding.
Ooh.
I'm just razzling you.
No,
I'm just giving you shit. You talk about a lot of good shows that I should watch, but also you talk about Invasion. Maybe it's good. I don't know. That was the one that came out like right after Foundation, which I also like never really finished. You know what I mean? Maybe I could go back.
Well, Foundation's really good.
First 2 episodes aren't.
Yeah.
First couple ain't.
Like, that's also a completely understandable. Like, I started it and then forgot.
I started it and then I got done with 2 episodes and I was like,
Okay.
We'll see. But listen. You gotta fucking come in these days. You gotta. A show is allowed to grow. Show is allowed to change. You gotta get started, okay? If your first couple episodes ain't great, I'm not hanging around. I'm not sticking it out. I don't have time.
You gotta start with a little bit of pop, my folks.
Yeah,
you gotta give me a little bit of to come back to.
I need a little something. I need a little pizzazz. I need a little spark. A little spice.
I will say though that maybe you just don't remember, but Foundation did start with a pretty incredible space elevator crashing into a planet scene that was phenomenal. But that was like maybe it in the first 2 episodes. That was really notable.
I'm not even talking about like loud. I don't necessarily need that was some pretty good like spectacle. And I remember that I was like, wow, this is very clear, which a lot of like all CGI sequences aren't often, like it's very clear, it's very concise, it's obviously using this well. But like there are a lot of characters I didn't really care about. I didn't really understand their whole deal. And then, you know what it was? They killed Jared Harris. And I know where, like, someone said, like, well, that doesn't mean we're done with Jared Harris. But I'm like, I know. But, like, he was the most interesting guy. And then he died. And I didn't. Yeah. And I was like, I don't have a lot of time currently. Yeah, died in quotation marks. Because it is a sci-fi program. But, I am sorry. I need you to fucking come in. I need you to grab you gotta give me something interesting to chew on. Yeah.
Gotta give me the beans.
It really just needs that, like, there's no, like, thing I'm looking for. I'm not like, get to the plot. Because sometimes, like, a show can be about vibes. Or a show can, like, take its time and be interesting. Like, The Witcher took its time, I think, like, getting all its pieces in motion. But it was not. It really is just like, unfortunately, just like a je ne sais quoi. It's like this, I don't know what I'm looking for, but it needs to just kind of like be a little spicy. There needs to be a dash of something that you go, ooh, interesting.
Yeah, sure.
And it's not necessarily, because like there are shows with good characters, but I'm like, this isn't grabbing me. I don't know. Unfortunately, it's inarticulatable. And I am a temperamental and finicky bitch. I don't know.
It is incalculable.
Yeah. If you want that coveted Kevin Lanigan demographic, you really got to guess. It's anybody's guess whether or not I'm going to latch onto your shit. Could go either way.
Could go anywhere. Yeah. And sometimes it will be completely out of the realm of predictability.
Exactly.
You just go, you know what? I really fucked with this. And you're like, oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
That's how everybody should be. Live Moss.
Yeah, live Moss. Think outside the bun.
Tinkle outside the binkle.
Think outside the bun. This is, of course, Advanced Media Studies podcast, where we aim to talk about every piece of pop culture ever created 1 week at a time. You join us now in the middle of our Mythic PodQuest as we journey through Apple TV Plus's Mythic Quest. I am one of your hosts, TV's Kevin Lanigan, and I too do not know how to drive a Porsche.
I am Caleb, the daddy host, the host with the mostest kids. Gotta use the pause. And I am a big fan believe it or not, of Battle Royale.
Oh,
And what's even funnier is they reference a Battle Royale in this called Hyperscape. It was in fact a Ubisoft product and is in fact being shut down like this week. It did
womp
not.
womp.
It did. They like describe it as huge, and it was like it was never huge.
Listen, my having heard of something is not necessarily a gauge of whether or not people are drilled in. However, I have never heard of this game. Bad sign.
Yeah, not a great sign.
Not a
personally,
great sign.
not a great indicator of potential
Again,
successful
like,
endeavor.
I don't know anything about Fortnite. That's the biggest thing on the planet. I'm not saying that like my having heard of something, because sometimes I haven't heard of something, and that's an interesting. That's exploratory. You know.
Yeah.
Today, someone mentioned a filmmaker I'd never heard of, and I was like, "Who is this guy? What's going on here?" And it became a little treasure
That
trove.
happens to you still?
Oh yeah, a little pile of secrets. I don't know, Caleb. I don't know if you know this, Caleb. We've been making movies for a long time, and in many countries, like all over the world.
All of them. Yeah, that's
so
very
this
true.
like
Very true.
French director from the 70s, I was like, oh, who is this? Oh, what's going on here? Oh, 3 of these are on Criterion. Oh, interesting.
Oh no,
so
it's what to do. That's
so
not
I'm
Watch
not-
Foundation.
yeah, I mean, yeah. Maybe one day,
Oh
you know.
no, you got me, Kev.
I'm paying for my own Apple subscription, and I like to feel like I'm getting the most out of it. So I'm gonna always be watching something on Apple TV now. But you know, like everyone loves Severance, gotta watch that first.
Yeah.
Never got around to Schmigadoon, gotta watch Schmigadoon. You know, so like gotta get around to it. Foundation, yeah, maybe one day. Keep dreaming, Foundation. It'll be your time.
Someday.
I am making weird commitments now, though, where like I last week I saw the most incredible Bollywood film you've ever seen. I've never been in a theater with more applause breaks in my entire life.
Was it a live show?
No, I'm sorry, it was a film. It was a 3-hour film. And it was called RRR. And I have, again, never been in a theater with more applause breaks. For reference, I have seen every Avengers film in theaters. For reference. I have seen
them be applause filled.
Every Star Wars movie that has been released in my lifetime in theaters. I've seen, other large films. Saw F9 in theaters. A lot of applause breaks during F9. But RRR, again, just like a raucous, beautiful audience that was so into what we were experiencing. And now I'm like, I need to fucking dig in on Bollywood. You know, I just need to like, I'm now like, okay, I gotta watch one of those a month. I want to watch one Hong Kong action movie a month. I am trying legitimately to get into anime currently. Not all anime, but like, the shit that I know that I will enjoy. That doesn't have the shit that I hate in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
And
you need to watch Bajirao Mastani.
I don't know what that is. What'd you say it one more again? Give me that one more time.
Bajirao Mastani. Bajiraw. Sorry. Mastani. M-A-S-T-A-N-I. The musical numbers in that movie are fucking incredible. Also, Priyanka Chopra is in that movie.
Ah, yes. Priyanka Chopra. Great. Okay.
There's one of the most active Indian men I've ever seen in my fucking life.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you want to see two beautiful fucking Indian men who are just like the best friends in the entire world, dudes have never rocked so hard, please scope out RRR, which may very well be playing in theaters near you. And but something
in New York, Midwest, I could probably say pretty confidently it's not going to be near me.
You just got to go to the right. Plaza Frontenac gets a lot of weird shit. You know what I mean?
You're right.
I'm not kidding. There are Indian people in St. Louis. You might have to go to like a weird afternoon screening on a Wednesday, but like, this is like the biggest Bollywood film in like years, so it's probably like playing somewhere, but it's not going to be. It's not New York. You're absolutely right. I said may very well. But something that unites those three things, Bollywood, Hong Kong action, and anime, that is so enticing to me, that is so beautiful to me, is their earnestness, their distinct lack of irony. Do you know what I'm like?
Yeah, sure.
Engaging
Yeah,
in beautiful, silly action sequences or dance sequences or anything that you could want. The melodrama, the heights of emotion.
Straight-faced.
And a
Just
straight
complete
face.
straight-faced seriousness.
Yes, and people often mistake that for them not knowing that what is happening is silly. That's not true. That's not giving people enough credit. They know what's happening on screen is silly. When I saw a Hong Kong action movie in theaters yesterday, and it was about a magic lyre, and this woman could play this lyre, and it shot fucking laser beams out of it, but no one went like, what? This is pretty silly. A magic good? That's stupid. Dr. Otto Octavius? What's your real name?
I saw a Hollywood action movie where a bunch of characters that have shields, link the arms and put the shields facing out and then roll like a bowling ball.
Yes.
And it wasn't played for laughs, and I was like, you absolute madman. I love this so much. It wasn't
played for laughs, and that's why it was so funny, right? And it is laughs, but no one has to put wacky music over it or have a character go or have someone go this is kind of ridiculous, because they know it's ridiculous. They trust you to know that it's ridiculous. And in RRR, fucking people are grabbing guys off of motorcycles and then throwing the motorcycle a fucking quarter mile to hit someone, it's shit like that, and they don't have to go oh, what?
Right.
And honestly, what it's kind of most analogous to is the Fast and Furious franchise.
100%.
Where, 100%. And, it's not as if Tyrese in those movies will never go this is crazy, but it always
but there
feels
are moments that are specifically played for laughs, and then moments
earnest.
that are not, that are taken super seriously, that are deeply funny.
In Furious 7, when Vin Diesel and Jason Statham are fighting on top of a parking garage, and Vin Diesel fucking slams his Timberland and collapses the parking garage, nobody questions it.
Yeah,
nobody goes
he's so strong.
He should.
Doesn't someone get hit with a 2.5 foot fucking wrench in that fight and not fall over?
Yes, giant wrenches, it's the fucking anime duel. That's what's so appealing about all of that to me, is just a presentation of earnestness that I honestly think a lot of American audiences are just they're not willing to give themselves over like that. I think they need to not feel like they're they're participating in something that's dorky. Do you know what as weird as that sounds for a culture where Star Wars and Marvel are the biggest things on the planet?
Where the touchstones are. Yeah.
But those movies are often at a remove from their own silliness.
Yeah, 100%.
Let's talk about Mythic Quest.
Let's do it. We got 2 episodes this week again.
2 episodes.
Trace and Quattro.
That's right. The first of which is Season 2, Episode 3, #Yum Yum. Directed by Angela Barnes. Written by John Howell Harris. In this episode, Brad attempts to figure out a way to get David a date. Yeah. And at the same time, Ian and Poppy are fighting, trying to work separately on the expansion Titans Rift. And Joe goes to help CW deal with his publisher, who is demanding a long delayed end to his trilogy.
Yes.
This is, it's a fun little episode. I don't know.
I dig it. It's a good episode. I love the introduction of Battle Royale stuff. One of those things that, again, as a person who's been writing about games, is going to be immediately oh, hey, the thing that's in the zeitgeist.
Oh, hey, Fortnite. PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds.
Did I mention Fortnite?
They definitely mentioned Fortnite.
Then that means they mentioned Fortnite with Hyperscape, which is even more funny.
Because Fork and Knife. Fortnite fucking ate hyperspace with a fork and knife.
Yes.
Fortnite came in and took PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds and sucked it up through a fucking straw.
Yeah, they were like, "Oh, you built this in our engine? Ooh, what if we did it better and stole all your shit?"
LOL.
Lol. No, it's yeah, no, I like that they bring that up. Anyway,
Mhm.
so we get that little conflict. They're working on two separate teams, calling. I don't know if they started calling them separate things yet.
Yeah,
Did
yeah,
they
they
mention that? They have. So yeah, it's Hera and Zeus.
did. Sure, fun.
And when Brittlesby figures that out, he's like, "Wait, so you're separating?" Poppy's like, "No, we're just working separately." And he was like, "That's what my parents said."
That's the first step.
That's the first. Yeah.
They're breaking up. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, David's preposterously high voice. It's also amazing that like Poppy and Co develop a battle royale in one episode. I know that like it's a television show, but it's still wild that like they're like battle royale, and then the next episode the battle royale is like a hit. It's out. it's been around, and I'm like, wow, y'all got that shit done fast.
Yeah. I think that's I wonder. It's hard to tell sometimes how difficult things are in the industry, largely because like the industry is extremely not clandestine, but not very transparent. And so like I think that you could probably slap together a battle royale pretty quickly. Whether or not that would mean it was good,
well, sure,
debatable.
Yeah,
but no, it definitely like just assembles in the dark and shows up next episode, which is very funny.
Yeah, absolutely. Just like cut away and they cut back and it's like we did it, we built it. And we're I think it's this episode where they're talking about just like taking 6-year-olds for all of their parents' money, which is the business model of all these fucking battle royale games. Just hoping a child grabs their parents' credit card.
Yep. Also, I love that I'm skipping, but I love that the implementation of the battle royale comes right at the moment where Poppy's like, "Fuck it, let's work together," and trying to like fix the situation with David. Or sorry, not with David, but with Ian. And then, of course, Brad is like, "Battle royale looks great" in the back of the room, and Ian's like, "The fuck," and gets really mad immediately. One of those things where you're like, "Oh, they're gonna," I don't know. Shows sometimes play around with timing in a way that lets you forget that something's happened, or maybe not forget completely, but like let it slip your mind. So that when it comes back up all of a sudden, you're like, oh shit. And this is one of those moments for me where like, they've been talking about Battle Royale on and off all episode, but they've also been talking about their conflict all episode. And when they start to iron it out, you get that like that quiet sense of comfort, and then it's like, oh no, wait. This is not good.
Yeah, absolutely. And it continues to show the season, despite of where it ends, seems to be trying to do a lot to potentially sow discord between Ian and Poppy, right?
Yeah.
There's like this, you feel like as you watch these sort of, they're working separately. There was all that with like the art department and feeling, put down upon. Like, there's definitely a version of this season that you could watch and be like, oh, this is going to lead to a rift, a Titans rift, if you will.
Rift of the Titans.
Yeah, the Rift of the Titans. My favorite sequel to Clash of the Titans. And
what was the sequel?
It was called Wrath of the Titans. The sequel to Sam Worthington's Clash of the Titans.
Yes, and Liam Neeson's
and Ray Fiennes doing just doing Voldemort again. Ray Fiennes just doing Voldemort again. It was amazing the degree to which he's just like, I'm just gonna do the voice again. You just put a wig on me, and I'm just gonna do the voice again. Everybody cool, great.
Yeah.
And you know what? We all bought it in that terrible movie. Movie.
Sometimes you allow things to happen that you wish you hadn't.
That movie was sold on the back. You have almost never seen one trailer moment be specifically responsible for the entire theatrical gross of a film more than that. Release the Kraken was it. How much? All right, Box Office Mojo. How much money did this fucking goddamn movie, the Clash at Demon Head, Clash of the Titans, 2010? Thank you. Clash of the Titans worldwide made $493 million. And every single one of those dollars is sold on the back of Release the Kraken. Without Release the Kraken, that movie never comes to be. Yeah. No one even notices that it comes out.
Do you remember the song that was in the trailer?
Was it Mad World? I'm just fucking shooting it.
No, it was Bird and the Worm by The Used.
Oh, I don't know that song. That's why it didn't stick with me.
Yeah, that song rules. But the thing that bothered me the most is that in the original Clash of the Titans, which I think Charlton Heston plays Zeus? Not Charlton Heston. No, maybe Charlton Heston. Hang on. I must search this assertion.
What are you looking for? What's happening? What's going on?
The original Clash of the Titans?
I don't think Charlton Heston is in the original Clash of the Titans.
Laurence Olivier, sorry.
Yes.
It's a big name. It's just not Charlton Heston.
No. I was just like, it was not. It was just not that one.
Also, the guy that plays Perseus, Harry Hamlin, in many pictures, just looks like young Mark Ruffalo, which is very funny to me. I'm gonna copy pasta this pic. I can't. This is fucking wait.
It's IMDb.
Windows Shift S. Is that it? Yes. Yes. All right.
Yes.
Check the chat. I'm gonna drop this image I just saved into it. This looks like Mark Ruffalo. This looks like the Ruffalo Buffalo.
You know, fucking Harry Hamlin kept working. I've never investigated this, man. It does look a little bit like Ruffalo Buffalo. Yeah. It does look askance of Ruffalo Buffalo. You're absolutely right.
Oh, wild. Yeah, he kept working.
He kept working. He was on Mad Men for a little bit. You know, he was around. Maggie Smith, Ursula Andress. This, you know, hey, original Clash of the Titans. Don't fucking Burgess Meredith. Don't fucking sleep on the original Clash of the Titans.
No, the OG's a good movie. But the thing that stuck with me funny was that I'd seen the first one because I'm a nerd, and
I haven't.
When Zeus releases the Kraken in the OG movie, it is the most like, fuck it, okay, do this thing. And it rules because he's like, fine, unleash the worst creature I have in my retinue. And when Liam Neeson does it, he's like, and it's like, well, you should care less because you're a god that's kind of careless. But it's fine. It's fine. But nitpicking a Sam Worthington movie is kind of like picking on somebody that doesn't deserve it.
Sure. I mean, he was trying his best. I mean, to the man's credit, he is the lead actor in the highest grossing film of all time.
Yeah, that's not wrong.
You can't. That is 1 year before Clash of the Titans. Like, that was hot. Same year as Avatar, he was in Terminator Salvation. You know, like, he was just this guy for a little bit. But Sam Worthington has never turned in the redemptive. You know how, like, he and Jai Courtney were the two most boring men on the planet? I don't know if they were, like, really, to me, just, like, completely uninvolving screen presences. Sam Worthington has never given us a Captain Boomerang. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
Because Jai Courtney is fun as hell. Say what you will about either Suicide Squad. He's very fun. He's doing something in those movies. And Sam Worthington has never... Where's he at? Is he, like, Redbox slumming? Where's Sam Worthington?
No, he's doing a lot. So he did a bunch of stuff that was, Redbox.
Listen, if given the opportunity, I would Redbox slum. I'm not against Redbox slumming. Yeah.
But then he's
God.
A bunch of projects.
Oh my
He's got 4 Avatar movies, 2 other movies in post-pro.
I was wondering if he was going to be in those Avatar sequels. I was wondering about that. Here's some interesting shit about the Avatar sequels. 2 and 3 are marked as post-production, and 4 and 5 are both marked as filming.
Yeah.
This is fascinating to me. We have
which means that like your boy did the smart thing, which was this doesn't happen all the time. Let's keep everybody here and keep filming.
He's fucking loading them up. You know, it took him this long. He's like, no, we're making all of these.
I'm really curious what the analogy was.
No, we're fucking doing Avatar 5.
I'm really curious what the technology was that he was waiting for, because that's what he's notorious for doing.
Yeah, absolutely.
But they started filming, in my approximation, relatively closely to Mandalorian popping up on the scene. And Mandalorian did, in fact, revolutionize a form of set construction that I think might be something that...
that's
why
interesting.
the fuck can't I remember his name? James Cameron, thank you. Might be something that old Jimbo Cameroni might be looking for.
That's an interesting thought.
I mean, what way do you elevate what Avatar did than
you can't? It's perfect
in getting rid of blue screen.
Yeah, right. That's the way to improve upon it. He's also talked about a lot of those movies being filmed underwater, which maybe there's something. Yeah, going back to his The Abyss days, which was notoriously just a living hell. Which is notoriously just the hardest movie to film in the entire world. You're right, Sam Worthington is working. It's just a bunch of movies that I'm like, oh, I didn't see that. Like Hacksaw Ridge or Cake.
Yeah, he's in Hacksaw Ridge.
Yeah. He's been around. Call of Duty Black Ops 4. He's Mason?
Yeah, he's Mason in the Black Ops games.
Has he? He's always been Mason?
He's Mason in all of the Black Ops games.
He's always been Mason? This whole time? I was too distracted by Gary Oldman in the first one, to be quite honest with you. And then I never played any of the others. But I was Mason?
He wasn't Mason in the first one. I could have sworn he was.
No, he is. He's on here.
Yeah, there it is. I missed it.
Yeah. Also,
my brain was doing the thing that was obviously, the first Black Ops was 2004. No, it was 2010.
2010.
The brain's that was long enough ago.
He was Macbeth in A Macbeth.
What year?
Directed by Jeffrey Wright? Different Jeffrey Wright.
Geoffrey Wright.
Geoffrey Wright, 2006.
Ooh, the poster for this movie is not good.
The poster for this movie is bad Underworld. Bad Underworld. Because Underworld, as we all know, masterpiece. This is bad Underworld.
Yeah. Blunderworld, if you will.
Also not rated, which means this was direct to DVD. So that's probably not a good sign for your Macbeth movie. God, that is fucking...
It was 2006, though. This is while he's on his way into being a name people know.
A contemporary retelling of Shakespeare's Macbeth, set in the ganglands of Melbourne.
The things that he did around this, right? A Fairy Tale of the City, a short, right? That's typical, I'm getting started work.
Yeah.
A TV series that doesn't... Yep. And then a TV miniseries.
You know what this is. He was just a working Australian actor, and we just did not. We didn't get these imports. we didn't get these imports. Right. But he was a working Australian actor, is what this is telling me. And then Terminator Salvation and Avatar, the sort of 1-2 punch of Welcome to America.
Yeah, and then he did a bunch of stuff.
He's still working, to his credit. You know what? I gotta give it up.
And on a ledge, didn't watch Wrath of the Titans.
He seems like maybe one of these guys. You know those actors who we, for whatever reason, don't let them do their natural accent, and we think they're bad actors, and then you watch something where they're doing their own accent, and you're like, this is
shit.
really electric performer. This is oh wow, you're really good. But we just don't, whether their natural language or natural accent, where it's maybe if I watched something where he's doing his native Surrey, England accent or his Australian accent, he would actually be very electric and compelling. This is interesting.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to hunt down something where he is in fact Australian.
Yeah, and report back. Report back with your findings.
I will.
Thank you.
9 bullets. That's this year.
9 bullets.
That you bring that up. Gary Oldman for the longest time was a bad guy who did every accent but his fucking own.
Right.
But he also ruled. So okay.
Yeah.
Not a perfect example, but he's in a show out right now called Slow Horses that Apple just put out. I think it's called Slow Horses. He is the bureau chief of an MI6 office in London. That's like he's the bureau chief of an MI6 house that is like or MI5. It's the dumping ground department. Like no, like you go there when your career's done. And he's been like running it for years, and then they actually like are onto something. They find something that's like actually worth being a part of. And like hearing him talk and act in that, I'm like, oh, that's just Gary being Gary. Like Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy was also like just Gary being Gary. Oh, this rules. This rules.
Yeah, absolutely.
Gary.
I'm Gary. That's I assume that's his natural accent. I don't know if he's English, right?
He is English, and his accent it's not David Brittlesby, but it is smaller than I think you would imagine.
Hello.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
If you like to call me baby. Hello.
Well,
I'm
you
Gary
also
Oldman.
have to realize that Gary Oldman's like a 60-year-old man of some very slight build.
I'm Gary
He's not
Oldman.
big.
What's all this then?
And so, like playing bad guys, especially Russian bad guys, in like the 90s and early 2000s, like his voice is completely fucking different.
Ozzy
Even
in the
his
Fifth
Commissioner
Element,
Gordon.
isn't it?
Yeah, Fifth Element too. Yep.
Ozzy in the Dark Knight, isn't it? Believe.
Fingers crossed that Kevin doesn't get cast as a British person in this.
That's for true. No, this is not my British accent. This is my Gary Oldman accent.
Oh, gotcha. My bad. You can understand my mistake.
I don't do accents. I do impressions. Okay, so like I don't do a British accent, but I could do John Oliver for you.
Yeah.
Hello. You know? So like as long as nobody catches on that I'm doing a John Oliver impression, I think we got something good going.
Yeah, we might be winning.
We got a good thing going. That's Money in the Bank, baby.
Obviously, nobody notices what I'm doing. We'll be fine.
Absolutely. Obviously, a fascinating episode of Mythic Quest. But I will say about the I like the George R.R. Martin joke because that's obviously what this is a joke on. But unfortunately for Mythic Quest, the greatest George R.R. Martin joke of all time has already been told in the film Logan Lucky. I'm so sorry, Mythic Quest. You tried. But I do, as someone who's currently back on the dating scene, I do appreciate this David plotline. Because unfortunately, Caleb, I empathize with David Brittlesby a little too much.
The hellscape, yeah, sure.
At that point at the end where he's like, well, maybe if I had a different face or a different set of interests or personality, I'm like, whoa.
Oh, no.
so yes, I am on the dating apps in New York. So if anyone would like to assassinate me, now is the time.
Now is the time.
I would love
invite me to coffee. I'll go because I need it.
I would love to be buried alive. Please. I would like to be like Ryan Reynolds in the film Buried. I'd like to be buried. Please.
Yeah, that quintessential film we all love.
Hey, it was on the precipice of his return. And honestly, since Deadpool 1, I haven't really liked anything else he's done. So like Buried is like way up there. Buried is like top tier Ryan Reynolds.
The last time you cared.
Yeah. It was Deadpool. I was like, oh, this is interesting. What's he's gonna do? And it's like, oh, nothing. Nothing good. I see. But Buried. Ha-cha-cha. Deadpool 1 is a good movie.
Deadpool 1 is a good movie.
Deadpool 1 is a good movie.
I've only seen Deadpool 2 twice, so I can't speak to it.
Well, I've only seen Deadpool 2 once, and that was enough. I said...
I mean, I haven't seen it again, so...
I said,
I'm
good
not
enough.
disagreeing with you.
Honestly, if you want to watch Deadpool 2, just look up, like, Zazie Beetz Domino scene Deadpool 2, and that, you've gotten the good part of Deadpool 2, right?
Josh Brolin's pretty good.
He's fine. He's asleep. He's not. He's on autopilot as Cable in Deadpool 2. He's
just playing Thanos with a gun.
Yeah, and Josh Brolin is like Tommy Lee Jones, where like sometimes if he's out of it, that actually works in the movie's favor because he's just being like grumpy, and like Josh Brolin doesn't want to be there. so it kind of works for like the character.
Yeah.
But they fridge Vanessa really hard, and that just bummed me out. I didn't enjoy that. Yeah. Anyway, sorry. What's his name? Rob Delaney was really funny. His name was like Peter or whatever. He was like this normal guy that was hanging out with them. He was funny.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, the Brad Pitt cameo was great.
Yeah, it was cute. But it's like, it's too cute where you're like, huh? Was I supposed to... And then you look up on the internet later, it's like, is that Brad Pitt? Is that Brad Pitt?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Also,
but hey,
David's in that movie, isn't he?
Who is?
Pete Davidson?
Is he?
Is he the guy with caustic vomit?
Oh, maybe. I haven't seen I didn't know who Pete Davidson was when I saw Deadpool 2. I'm not seeing, what's his dick? Pete Davidson.
I don't even remember what that character's name was.
He's from a comic. His name is like...
Nailed it.
But, they didn't make him up is what I'm trying to say. He's a guy. Shut up. Shut up, man. I don't know. I think you might have just been thinking of the Suicide Squad. I am not seeing this on his credit.
Oh, you're right. Pete Davidson is in that. Yeah, I was thinking.
The character's name is like Zeitgeist or something. That's what I was trying to think of.
Phil Skarsgård plays Zeitgeist.
Oh, okay. There you go. Yeah, it's Zeitgeist because he's from X-Force, but a different X-Force than everyone is familiar with. They actually did... Anyway, never mind. It's not worth getting into. I'm just not going to bother.
Actually, I don't care.
Actually, fuck it. Even I don't care. Even I don't care. What a podcast. Anyway, dating apps are hard. I like the little company. We got Tall Paul. We got Carol. We got Sue. Sue. Oh, that should have been my quote. Sue fucking killed me in this episode. When David is like, Sue, I thought we had a nice rapport going, and she's like, oh, you seem great, but you just don't. I just don't want you to be the. I don't want to be the vessel for your seed.
Your seed, if you know what I'm saying.
If you know what I'm saying, does that make sense?
Oh God.
The vessel to your seed is so funny.
It's so awful.
That's so funny. It's like there's a line in Raising Arizona where Nicolas Cage is describing his wife's infertility, and he's like, her insides were a barren wasteland where my seed could find no purchase.
Oh God.
That's one of the best movies ever made. Let's go on to the next episode of Mythic Quest, I guess. Because Season 2, Episode 4, Breaking Brad. Hey, you watched that show Breaking Brad? Directed by Angela Barnes, written by Kiona Taylor. In this episode, Brad's brother, Zach, comes to Mythic Quest, and he seems to be up to nefarious purposes, including bringing that fiend Snoop Dogg onto the premises. At the same time, Ian can't drive his own car, so Rachel has to drive him back, and she is sort of offered the this is her opportunity to prove herself, and she can't do it. she doesn't come up with anything, and that's the episode of Mythic Quest. It's mostly a setup episode, as interesting as this kind of is getting. It's mostly a setup for other things to come later, though this is interesting after last week's big Rachel conversation that we had, right? Like this. Sure. Yeah. I didn't remember this at all when we were having that conversation. But it is an interesting wrinkle. This show's perspective on Rachel is interesting. And we're not going to do another 20 minutes on it. And I'm not taking it as an indictment of all people that care about social causes. But Britta,
I was thinking about this. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. But much like Britta, it is like an indictment of a certain kind of person.
Yes, very much so. And that's a dangerous indictment to level in a lot of cases, because if it's poorly written, it can seem very borderline
sexist,
righty,
dismissive. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's a narrow walk that they have to make, and it helps that the show so far, we are never... Ian is not our perspective. We are not supposed to agree with Ian at all times. He is not our level-headed lead. So that helps to put it in his mouth. But it is, it's a tricky line that they are trying to walk here.
It is. I think that the thing I was thinking about before... hop on the call was specifically this moment, right? Because you get this moment where Rachel's just doing the thing that she's done all season and a half we've known her, right? Mm-hmm. Which is deeply and obnoxiously overshare, bore the person in the room to tears,
Yeah.
and then kind of just move on with being in the background. And so she starts to do that again, which I remember initially being like, oh boy.
Interesting.
And yeah. And but this time she's in a car alone with Ian, and then Ian, I don't know, maybe because he's just kind of been shown up a little bit by not being able to drive a stick shift. Is just tired of it. So he's like, fucking, I don't care. And then does the thing that you're talking about, where he's like, you have the thing you want is what is happening right now, and you're not doing that.
Right.
And I like it.
Yeah.
It works for me.
It's precarious, because it comes so close to, like, Old Man Yells at Cloud. It comes so close to those darn millennials,
Yeah.
But at least in my perspective, maybe it's a generous read. It doesn't cross over that line, and it is something that, like, you do. Obviously, there are innumerable and prevalent and true ways in which certain people are kept out of the room where it happens. People are kept out of, like, these opportunities, right? And that is 100% true. Yeah. But also, when your moment comes, you do need to deliver the goods, which is often left out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's almost like the show is indicting Rachel of, like, what do you do here? What do you do on the show Mythic Quest?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
What is your purpose?
And also he, well, I think he's right. Right? Like, that's not a thing that we say about Ian very often.
No.
But, like, when he's like, figure out what you want, and then she's like, everything, and he's like, no.
That's not
like
an answer, right?
No, like, you should spend your time, trying to build a career or something, instead of worrying about superficial things and worrying your coworkers with those superficial things. Like, it's very interesting, and I can't emphasize enough how unbelievably borderline it is, but how well I think they navigate it in the, like, 3 total minutes we get of specifically this. I like it a lot. Yeah, like that last scene in the car park. I don't remember exactly what he says, even though I've finished rewatching it a second time this week, like 30 minutes ago. I don't remember exactly what he says, but that last couple of moments in the car park are very good to me. They're very good. Yeah. It's funny that, like we said, we had this long conversation about Rachel and her floatiness.
Yeah.
And then an episode later, it's like, oh yeah, we're gonna literally address that.
We are right. We're going to address and to an issue, lampshade it, right, where it's like, we are aware, like, we in the writers' room know that, like, this character is underutilized or not bringing as much to the table, however you care to define it.
Yeah.
But also, to my recollection, it's not as if they have, like, a solution by the end of the season or anything like that. Right. It is a something that remains BuzzFeed unsolved, right? It is a problem that does not fully get addressed. They address that it is a problem, but they have not yet acquired a solution to said problem.
I think they very much lay the groundwork for it. And then I think it's the next couple episodes we get the late William hurt.
Yeah, the big hurt is the next episode is the bottle episode, which we'll be covering on its own. And I don't yeah, it's a bottle episode.
What?
It's a bottle episode. I don't know what else. They're like,
I'm trying to remember what happens in that.
Everyone has to sign a form. I don't remember the context. Everyone has to sign a form.
Oh God, that's the rules.
It's a good episode, and yeah, everyone has to sign a big form, and then she then there's a flashback. Then she drives around HCW, And then
Yeah.
I don't remember anything else she does for the rest of the season.
No, I think that the CW episode, because we were talking about like why don't they lean into Ashley Birch being like a voice actor or a writer.
Yeah.
I think attaching her to CW later, and like being a part of his experience even more, will lead in a direction that could make her into like a writer, because there's definitely bonding that happens between them in a way.
Could be.
I would be very interested in that.
Absolutely. I am interested in whatever direction they take her. They just need to take her in a direction. There just needs to be
100%.
a direction. Anyway, we should not remunerate exactly the same conversation that we had last week.
No.
But it is interesting that right after we had that conversation, we both had forgotten that this episode exists. But still does not pose a solution to the problem. It's just it's something that's there. But I again, it's a deft line that they attempt to walk. I think having a female director helps. I'm sure that there's like a very different way that the scene could have been executed. I don't know the gender of Keona Taylor, the writer, but could be a female writer as well. I think, again, in different hands, this scene could have gone very, very, very wrong. There could have been an alchemy that just gets completely wrecked and thrown askew, right?
Sure.
But they managed to thread that needle in an interesting way, and that's that. But the Brad plotline is obviously the meatiest bits of the episode, as his brother Zach, who seems to be like an even worse Brad, comes to Mythic Quest, and Brad suspects that he has nothing but terrible motives. Right? He's there to fuck with Brad. He's lying that it's his birthday. Another interesting thread that they walk in this episode, that I think they do again well, and I don't remember how all of this resolves, but anyway, that this, in a different show, in a different context, in a Parks and Rec, they would take this as the chance to soften Brad or redeem Brad. Do you know what I mean? To Mythic Quest's credit, I don't think they really do that. I think that, like, it's on a different show, Brad doesn't want Zach to interfere at Mythic Quest because, like, I've come to love the lovable misfits of this video game studio. Like, don't you understand? They've found their way into my cold heart. That is not the context that they give, or at least the context that Brad gives. Brad just says, like, I have built such a good funnel of money here, right? Like, I have built, I'm selling, loot boxes for tens of thousands. Like,
yeah, it's not that his brother's doing something bad. It's that his brother's doing what he's doing sooner than he would do it.
And
right?
and it's going to wreck his whole thing that he has spent a lot of effort setting up. He doesn't care about the game. He doesn't care about these people. But it's like, I have built this empire, and you can't take that from me. This is my personal achievement, right? And then there's the story with it's a chicken.
Pig.
It's a pig.
Kate.
Yeah. With Kate, that is of course a good metaphor underline of that, right?
Yeah.
And
100%.
that Brad, you can call it an emasculation or a sibling rivalry or whatever, but like, he knows that his brother will come in and show him up and destroy something that he had going, and that's all very interesting.
Very interesting. And we see more of his brother, don't we?
Oh yeah, he's around for at least the rest of the season. I can't remember if his plotline ends substantially enough that he won't be back for further seasons.
No, he should be back, because what happens in the final moments of the final episode of this season is specifically to do something to him. Not directly, but still to him.
And this is a good actor. He shows up late on Crazy Ex-Girlfriend as well. I don't know his name off the top of my head, but he's a very talented actor. He's around...
Parvesh China? Or Parvesh, sorry.
Yeah,
Harvesh Chino.
Harvest Chino. He's a very talented actor. He's been around forever. He's been, like, anytime there's like a call for like a funny kind of chubby Indian guy, he's always the guy that they call. But like here he shows like a range that I don't think he's usually allowed to show on other projects. Is that like there's a nefariousness, there's a real lack of goofiness there underneath his sort of affable Snoop Dogg courting self.
He only shows up again in the final episode.
So he's only in one more episode this season. But he could be around. There's more that you could do with this character.
There's absolutely space for him.
Yeah. Especially what I don't really... There's little bits that I remember of... You see how bad I am at retaining plot on most things. It's never more evident than it is right now. Right? That like I'm like I don't really remember exactly how that winds up, or I just rewatched Mad Max Fury Road, a movie I've seen 5 times, and I can never remember like how's this guy die. I can't. It's like our conversation with The Thing. I'm like, I love The Thing. I can't remember what happens to which dude. I can't. That's not how I absorb media. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, but it's interesting. What I remember of how this season resolves is he could be back. There's a certain amount of jeopardy to what he does throughout the rest of this season that could lead to him coming back. Is what we're trying to conclude here. Absolutely.
I'm so curious. We're not going to find out for another year, but I'm so fucking curious where this show goes next.
Yeah, I know. We keep like floating around that, right? We keep butting up against that, but we'll get there. And unfortunately, we're probably gonna have to wait until at least 2023 to get an answer to that. Yep. I am sorry to say, maybe late this year it could start, but who knows? Yeah,
unlike other things IMDb tracks, TV shows and when they're filming or in production or not is not a thing that they know that stuff from movies, but they never see a show that's like, hey, by the way, it's coming.
But I haven't seen Megan or Rob, posting about like, and season 3 filming. Most of the, when you hear like we've been renewed for season 3 or 4, you're hearing about that long after like the actual contracts were signed, right? Like you hear all the time like blank is cast in this MCU movie, but it's like that movie is done filming. Like that they were already cast. We're just hearing about it now.
Right.
And that kind of thing happens all the time. But yeah, it seems like it is gonna. These fucking streaming services are in no goddamn hurry to give you more of the shows you like. It's weird. It's weird. It's really weird. It makes you so nostalgic for the structure of network television, right? You just like, God, I miss knowing that Community would start in September and end in May. There's just there's a dependability to that I long for so much. That's even pre-COVID, That's even like in a world where it could be more regular. They're just not interested. They don't care.
It's interesting because like it's happening at the same time that we're seeing the video game industry being forced into taking their time, and one of them, the latter, is realizing that like, oh, maybe we should take more time. And I wonder if there isn't some bleed between the two that is like these streaming companies being like, we don't have to force these things out quickly, but I don't know if it's working for them the way they thought or think it will or would, because I don't know, like when there's 2 years between seasons of a show, you're like, oh yeah, all right,
and then they don't do like fucking anything to like remind you, like the previously ons basically don't exist, and you're like, what happened? And sometimes you just don't want to rewatch all of a show, like to get ready for a new season. Sometimes I don't have time. With Russian Doll, it's easy because it's like it's 8 half-hour episodes.
Sure.
Very easy for me to get caught up for season 2. Season 1, even better than I remembered it being. Season 2, very excited because what the fuck do you do with that? Talk about a show where it's like, what the fuck is the second season going to be? Russian Doll.
Sure.
But they're just not in a hurry, and it's this thing that is unfortunately like they have a point, but it sucks for you, the consumer, where like their reason for either, how Netflix cancels basically every show after season 2, or
Yeah.
or Apple TV Plus is like, you'll get more of the show you like, eventually, one day.
Okay.
What are you gonna do? Cancel Netflix? What are you gonna do? Not have Netflix because we didn't give you they have no impetus to give you more of the show in a timely manner or at all, because again, like, what are you gonna do?
What are you gonna? Yeah.
What are you gonna do? Not have you're gonna cancel Netflix until we give you more Babysitters Club? I don't think so. And it's just it's this shitty thing, and unfortunately, like, they're right. What am I gonna do? Cancel Netflix? Like, what? I don't even pay for mine.
Yeah. Also,
You know?
when you're a company that puts out something every week or every day,
Several
honestly,
things every week. Like,
yeah. Well, something every day. Like, what are you
yeah.
gonna? There's always something to look at, and
What are you
we're
gonna do?
humans, and humans like
Yeah.
looking at things that just keep
Mm-hmm.
piling on. So why
Yeah.
not?
And unlike a television network where it is much more individually based, right? Like, there is a I'll use the word again. There is an impetus to get Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones is not as good an example because HBO is subscription based. It doesn't use advertisers. There's an impetus to get Lost back on the air as quickly as possible
Right.
because a lot of fucking people watch that show. You can sell a lot of ads during that show. Let's get the popular thing back on.
Yeah. 100%.
And obviously there were a lot of drawbacks to the traditional television model. I'm not saying it was a perfect thing that we should have never deviated from, but it is unfortunate that it's like, well, yeah, what are you gonna do? Make me give you more Mythic Quest. Fucking try.
Precisely that. Yeah, I don't know what solution for shows on streaming networks are, because I don't think anyone's doing it like. But like, it's one of those things where it's wonder if we have the attention span to watch something that's 25 episodes long.
The Office and Friends were the biggest shows in the world.
Both of those shows ended like 10 years ago.
That's what I'm saying. We obviously do have the attention span because people were watching them endlessly. Yes.
Yeah.
People were watching.
Sure, but we can go back and binge them, Kevin. That's what I mean. Like, we can go back and watch 5 episodes a day. And like, that attention span is significantly different than like, could we get people to consistently show up for 25 weeks? Because when people go back and watch The Office, it does not take them 25 weeks to get through it. They watch it in a month, right? And I think that's a really big difference. So like, what are we I don't want to say capable of, but like, what are we capable of? What are we capable?
Well,
is there some research that's actually showing like, yeah, you won't watch it after the 12th week. So they're like, we'll do 10 and keep people entertained.
There is a media, and obviously, like, people aren't watching every single episode of Law and Order that comes out, but Law and Order still has a lot of episodes per season, and things like Law and Order and traditional sitcoms that air on CBS and things like that, right? I'm now let me look something up because I've never seen this show in my entire life. So This Is Us is in its 6th season presently, and that's 18 episodes a season, which is not 25, but is not 10.
Not short.
Yeah. And that's a very popular television show. That's one of the most watched shows on television.
Yeah.
So like, we do, but it's again, it's a similar thing to the, well, what are you going to do if we don't bring your favorite show back? It is like again, because you are not selling individual ads per episode, there is less of I cannot think of a synonym. There's less of an impetus to create 18 episodes of The Witcher or Mythic Quest, because that's more money that you're not necessarily making back in the same way. you're making more Witcher per season does not net you more money than making less Witcher per season. If anything, it makes you probably more money, right? But that's why we just have these fucking droughts between these seasons. It's what it is. It's not going to change anytime soon. I think the perfect alchemy, as close to the perfect alchemy as we can get, is either HBO or the contemporary like FX on Hulu model, where every FX show airs regularly on FX and then is on Hulu the next day. And I think that is as good of a model as exists currently. Is like Atlanta airs regularly on Thursday nights, and then the next day you can watch it on Hulu, you know?
Yeah, 100%.
That's close as we've gotten. So everyone just do that. Simple as that. Done. Wrap it up.
Solved it. We solved it.
I did it.
Now pay us for solving.
Congratulations, me. Yes, I'll take money, please. Anything else on these mythic quests?
No, I think we got it. I think that's
Quests. Mystics quests. Mars. Perfect. Then let's segue on into the plugs, shall we?
Yes, sure.
Got anything?
Yeah, today, sorry, you who are listening to this, currently available is my episode with John Everest, the composer of video games. It was very good. And also a new episode of that's Bounty Board. You can find it. You search Nerdy Bits on like Apple Podcasts or Spotify. You'll find all of them. But specifically, Bounty Board has my interview with John Everest, and then there's an episode of the Nerdy Bits show going up on Tuesday, the 19th. That is us talking about the Halo show, and other video game specific stuff. And yeah, that's really all I got right now. Trying to organize a few more interviews. Had a couple turned down because people be busy, and also like publishers be a little restrictive. So cool, like I get it. So yeah, that's it. Really, so far. What about you, my friend?
New podcast, of course, as mentioned last week, Crazy X Pod Friends, a monthly show where we'll be working our way through Crazy X Girlfriend. And I will again hint at long gesticulating film projects that take a long time to come out.
Gestating?
Just that one. Pretend I said that. Pretend that's the word that I said instead of the word that I did say.
Yeah.
Pretend that was the case, and we'll all be good. Everyone will be chill. I hope you enjoyed all the bonus material that has come out on this very feed. By the time this episode is up, I hope the Sonic the Hedgehog 2 review is up on this very podcast channel. I know for a fact the new mini-series Getting Stoned was uploaded on this channel on 420. So enjoy that. Enjoy all this stuff. If you'd like to, show me that you appreciate it, that's patreon.com/TVsKevin, baby. That's where you can go. That's where you can get early podcasts, exclusive podcasts, backlogs of shows that don't exist anymore that now only live behind the paywall. They're walled in to the fucking little city. And in order to get out, you gotta there's one of those things that goes across the moat with the alligators, 2 mechanical alligators. That's patreon.com/TVsKevin for as little as $1 a month. And next week, we're going to slow it down. We're only going to do one Mythic quest next week. We're going to take it easy because it's the easiest way to break up this odd-numbered season. We'll be talking about Mythic quests bottle episode. I think there are probably several Mythic quests that would qualify as a bottle episode because it feels like they mostly all take place in this office, almost exclusively.
It's a workplace comedy, for crying out loud.
Yeah, but this one is definitely a bottle episode.
Yeah,
this one is absolutely a bottle episode, and we're gonna take it as Megan Gans gives us yet another classic sitcom bottle episode. Thank you, Megan, and Megan we trust, and that'll do her. Until is it gonna be May? It is gonna be May. We'll see y'all in May. Where I hear there will be Mayflowers. That sounds great. Would love some Mayflowers,
Yeah, why
as
not?
long as they don't activate my seasonal allergies.
Oh.
This was a weird podcast episode, and my audio recorder ran out of battery some time ago, so I hope you like this Skype audio.
Hell yeah, baby.
I am a cheap bastard. I should have switched out the batteries. Oh well. Aren't I a little scamp?
Aren't
I a little scamp not changing out the batteries on my recorder? Oops.
How dare.
Oops. What are you gonna do? Punish me? Great. Stop.
Please don't.
Stop
Please
letting me
don't.
talk. Please don't let me talk, especially at your dinner party.
Great DP action.
This has been a Talkback Podcast.
That was quite a show, very entertaining.
Please tell your friends about this show.
Boopy doopy doop boop sex.
Larry, I'm on DuckTales.
Dinner party.